Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Curious Realm TV. As you all know that nowadays in Hollywood, new superhero movies are released. Although all this is fake, but do you know how these fiction movies are made? Well, in today's video, I will show you the behind scenes of famous Hollywood movies. So let's start our countdown. John Wick Chapter 3 is one of the most blockbuster movies of 2019. Although all the action scenes of this film are amazing, but the most famous clip is the one in which John fights his enemy on a bike. Well, it seems complicated to watch this scene, but it was even more hardworking to shoot it. Actually, this fight scene was recorded on a bridge in New York. And the more interesting thing is that this scene was shot at night. There were stuntmen on the bike and it was a real fight scene. To perform this action, the hero had to rehearse 4 times before. But some actions were so hard that it was totally impossible to perform them on the bridge. That's why the clip was shot with a green background in the studio. But these scenes were edited so beautifully that no one can even imagine that they were made in the studio. This is really amazing. Aquaman was made in 2018. This sci-fi film is about a totally underwater world and its inhabitants. Even in this movie, you get to see an underwater city which looks absolutely real. Well, the movie's most parts were shot in the Atlantic Ocean. If we talk about the action scenes of the film, it looks like this. As if this film was shot in water, but it was not like that. These scenes were shot with a blue background in the studio. But it was not an easy task. The movie characters were tied to wires and various equipment, and they were blown in the air and they were also made to fight mid-air. In addition, during the shooting, the rope was also used so that the underwater movement could be created. Special helpers were used for this task. These helpers wore blue suits and helped in the performance of the characters so that they looked like they were in water. After the shooting, the VFX team removed these blue personnel. They changed the background and added such effects in the scenes that it looked like everything was happening in water. This is really incredible. Spider-Man 2. Friends, if you are a fan of Spider-Man, then you must have seen his movie Spider-Man 2. Well, if we talk about the villain of this movie, then he was Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus's role was played by the famous actor Molina. But for him, taking the get-up of Octopus was not an easy task. You won't believe that the octopus with its body, which had 4 tentacles attached, was 8 feet long and the weight of the tentacles was more than 45 kilograms. The tentacles were made of rubber and metal, so they were very heavy. Not only that, but during the shoot, a person controlled each tentacle and moved them up and down so that they looked like they were moving in real life. As the shooting went on, Dr. Octopus and the 4 helpers would lift the weight of the tentacles. In addition, one person was made to operate the tentacles' wings. During the scene, the guy used to control these claws with the help of special equipment so that it looked like the brain of Dr. Octopus was controlling them. Anyway, these fiction movies look amazing to watch, but making them is actually so difficult. Avengers Endgame is one of the blockbuster movies of the Avengers. If you have watched this movie, then you must have seen Captain America's scene in which Captain America fights his past during time traveling. In fact, there was a stuntman with the hero during this fight who was playing the role of the duplicate captain. The masked man you see here is called Daniel Hargrave, and along with him, Chris, or Captain America, had performed this fight action. But the fun part is that the scenes in which Captain America's face is visible, there was no stuntman in this fight. Rather, only Chris had performed this fight alone. In reality, Chris would first punch from one side, and then come to the other side and play the role of the other Captain America. It means that there was no other Captain America here, but only one person had fought this fight. After this, the VFX team mixed these 2 scenes together, which made it look as if 2 Captain America were fighting each other. This is really unbelievable. Captain Marvel, friends, if you have seen the Captain Marvel movie, then you must know that there are many scenes in this movie that are made completely through VFX. But in this film, there is a scene where Captain Marvel climbs on the roof of the train and fights the enemy, while the 2 police officers are following him along with the train. This fight scene was shot in Los Angeles. The fun part is that this fight scene was shot not on one train but on the roof of many trains in Los Angeles. Another interesting thing is that where this fight scene was being shot, car chasing scenes were also being recorded. One side was fighting and the other side was capturing the shooting of police cars. Although this chasing could have been edited by shooting at one place. But the directors recorded it separately to make the scene interesting, so that the action could be made perfectly. But anyway, this scene was really amazing. Spider-Man Far From Home was a very amazing fight scene in this amazing movie. There is a scene where Spider-Man fights his enemy Mysterio on the Tower Bridge in London. This is considered to be the most famous action scene in this movie. But you will be surprised to know that this fight was shot in the studio, not on the London Tower. Actually, it was a very complicated scene and it was almost impossible to shoot it on the Tower Bridge in London. That's why filmmakers created fake models of the entire London Tower and its surrounding areas. Even the green screen was added to many places. And later, with the help of VFX, the city was added to the background by editing. But these fight scenes are so amazing that no one can even imagine that this is not real London. In fact, everything is fake. Justice League, friends, if we talk about action movies, then in today's era, there may be an action movie which was not made with the help of stuntmen and VFX. But Justice League is a superhero film in which VFX is very little added so that the scenes can be given a realistic look. Not even one stuntman's help was taken to make it. Well, the most famous scene of this movie is that in which Justice League fights Superman. You might be surprised to know that Superman and Justice League team practiced fighting for 2 weeks to make this scene. This was a real-life fight where green background was recorded in the studio. More interesting thing is that no stuntman was helped in this fight. In fact, the film's characters were tied up and thrown away, and then the mattress was used to save them from getting hurt. In real life, this shooting looks very unusual, but then editing it and making it so amazing that it's fun to watch. Anyway, this scene was really amazing. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. Then subscribe our channel, so you never miss any video.